That was not meant to be full screen there. As here we are ready to go as this is a very exciting one. I can't wait for it. That's a little too bright. This is a lot better as we have a little Raptors stream. It's been a little bit since we've talked about our dear, sweet Raptors, and so I can't wait for it. Should be a very, very fun time today as we just get everything set up here. Talking about one of the best teams in the entire Eastern Conference today. The Toronto Raptors coming off a huge win against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Try to raise the chair. I don't think it raises. I am pumped for this. I can't wait to get into the game that was had. I mean, Scotty Barnes, he made Wemby his child, or not Wemby, he made Chet his child. He is now Chet's daddy along with Wemby. They co-parent him together now. It's a fun fact. I was just reading that in the tabloids. As the Raptors would win 103-101. As I'm making it sound like we blew them out of the water. No, this was a great game, a close game. After the first half, it would be a 54-50 lead for our Toronto Raptors, which, hey, that's a great feeling. And then, of course, the end of the game would come down to some last-minute free throws. My boy Jamal Shed would go 0 of 2 in clutch time, but Emmanuel quickly would go 2 of 2 to secure the game. If you did miss it, this was a very, very fun time. Again, Scotty Barnes continues his streak of being the most valuable Raptor on the roster and one of the more valuable players in the entire Eastern Conference. As in this game, he would have 10 points. Yes, just 10. Well, just you wait. He would have 11 rebounds, 8 assists, as well as a steal and 3 blocks, including what would become pretty much the game-sealing block. So I'd say that's a pretty valuable night, regardless of the scoring outcome. It was pretty magical to bear witness to a game like that. More in the center now. Sorry if I was moving and freaking you out there on the screen. As we love Scotty Barnes around here. I'm wearing my Scotty Barnes jersey today. To go along with that, Emmanuel quickly had another very, very good game. 23 points, 11 rebounds, and surprisingly was defending the paint really well on multiple different occasions in this game. To go along with being a weirdly good paint defender, he only had 1 foul. Scotty Barnes had 5 while he was taking over primary post defender duties. It's not like Sandro Mamu is really going to be doing that, so Scotty Barnes, 5 fouls, somehow stayed in the game the whole way, so we thank him for that. It was so much fun. Brandon Ingram, not great in this one, not a great shooting performance, but it's the Oklahoma City Thunder. They focused in on Brandon Ingram so hard in this one, and he would only shoot 5 for 18, 27% from the field. Didn't make a 3 all night, but 3 of 4 from the free throw line. We'll take our points where we can get them. He'd finish with 13, 5, and 4. And there we go. We got Nolan in the chat. Scotty for all NBA team recognition. I've been on this bandwagon. If he's not going to be an all-star, at least make him be all NBA. But he should be both, as well as the defensive player of the year. And we'll get into that. I promise. We'll just do some last-minute breakdowns for this Thunder game. Because a guy like Jacoby Walter, his defensive impact was unreal. Playing 27 minutes, and most of those 27 minutes he was guarding either a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander or I'm pretty sure he was on J-Dub for a good portion of the night as well. I mean, J-Dub playing 21 minutes in this one. It was a big night off the bench for Aaron Wiggins. Well, I say big night. He played 29 minutes, but Jacoby Walter, he was the man on him. It wasn't J-Dub, excuse me. It was Shea, and it was Aaron Wiggins. Aaron Wiggins would shoot 3 for 10, make that 2 for 9 from 3. So a great game for Jacoby Walter and being valuable in any way. While he also was not making his 3-pointers, shooting 1 for 6, but he would end the game with 9 points, 3 steals, 2 assists, and 3 rebounds. Very good game for him. Grady Dick off the bench, 10 points. We're getting better Dick action. We're getting better action from our... No, we're not getting better action from our Dick. The Dick is good. No. Team Grady. We love Grady over here. We love Grady Dick. on our team. It's been a good stretch for Grady Dick, if I'm, all joking aside. 4 games in a row where he scored double-digit points and been a solid contributor to the team. His game score has been over 5 for 3 out of the 4 last games. Plus minus, I don't really care about plus minus. Although I do care when it's Scotty Barnes being plus 15. And something that I would love to get into here is now the Scotty Barnes discussion. As the last little bit I'll break down, I guess. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 24, 3 rebounds, 6 assists. We held him to a huge off night. That is a rare bad performance from Shai. To go along with that, Chet Holmgren, 11 points, 10 rebounds, 5 of 10 shooting for a 7'4" player. Weak. Nolan in the chat there, experiencing my love for Grady Dick. But something I would like to say, if I saved it properly, I did not. That's too bad. I think I know I liked it, but I liked a lot of tweets today. Anyways, I remember what it was. In the 16 minutes in this game where the Raptors did not have Scotty Barnes on the court, they got outscored by 13 points. It was a negative 13 plus minus with Scotty Barnes off the court. Let's see if we can find his on-off stats from last night. We're on cleaningtheglass.com. I think this might just be for the season, but if not, this should be a very good time because, again, he was so good, and our offensive rating was like a plus 130 with him on the court and was at under 100 with him off, which was also unreal. Very rare you see a guy that is making that much of an impact while not scoring over, well, he scored 10. We'll call it 10. Here we go. OKC. These stats are not what I want. All right. Well, thank you, Cleaning the Glass, for being a subscriber-only thing. I had the tweet. Oh, here we go. Found it. Scotty Barnes so far this season, with him on the court, the Raptors are plus 109. With him off the court, they're minus 9. You're telling me that's a 100-point swing with one guy on or off the court? To go along with that, our net rating with him on, 3.1, negative 0.2. Offensive rating boosts by 2. Our defensive rating gets worse by 2. That's one player, one guy. Looking at his game log for his game against OKC. Trying to pull up. I want to see more than just this for his on-off numbers here. Because it was just an incredible game. Nolan in the chat saying this was a great year for the Raps to put it together. The East is wide open. It'll be tough out in 7 games, and I fully agree. Hey, me and you, we were talking about it, Nolan, before this started, before the season started, that we actually had hope. I said top 6. I was not expecting top 3, and potentially number 2. Potentially number 2 coming up soon. So here we go. Found it. On-off. Scotty Barnes on the court. And you know what? I'll actually... We'll show this. We'll show this to everyone as we'll clean up the screen a little bit here. So, Scotty Barnes on the court played 32 minutes. Off the court, 16 minutes. Plus 15 versus a negative 13. Our net rating, 27.4, negative 42.4. This is one player. This is one guy. The one guy off the court, off when he wasn't playing, extrapolated to a full game, we would have given up 142 points and would have scored 85. 85! I can't believe how good this guy is, and I can't believe how slept on he is by the general public when it comes to NBA All-Star and All-NBA discussions. He's a guy that's once in his career been an All-Star. One time. He was Rookie of the Year and didn't make the All-Star team as a Rookie of the Year, which we do see a lot of Rookie of the Years make the All-Star team. And then, of course, last year, he only played 65 games, was unfortunately injured for a large portion of the beginning of that. It saw his shooting go down to 44%. His three-point shooting, 27%. Legitimately, not by the stats, but by the impact, Scotty Barnes is having a most improved season. Now, his stats, he's only averaging 0.2 more points. He's averaging about 0.5, 0.6 more rebounds, and actually less assists. But by impact, I can't get over how important this guy's been. And seeing here in the chat, are the Raps a Sabonis Ellis trade away from a deep playoff run? I think this team might be worthy of a deep playoff run right now. I think we're at least a second-round team. We could beat up on a lot of these bad Eastern Conference teams. Like Nolan said, wide open this season has been. And pulling up the standings right now, if the season were to end, we'd be facing the 76ers. That's a dub. And if you ask me, we're beating them in 6, maybe 7. Then going into the next round, we'd be facing the likes of either the Pistons, the Celtics, the Knicks, or the Cavs, Heat, Magic, and one of the many play-in teams that are trash. It's a year where we really could make a run, and I guess that brings us to the next thing, is capitalize on IQ. We have to capitalize on IQ right now. He is at his most valuable, especially with the contract he's on. We're not going to get a much better return than what we are going to see right now. And I think bringing in Domantas Sabonis and Keon Ellis, who is one of the premier defensive guards in the game. Davion Mitchell, if he was worse at offense, basically, and we just had Davion Mitchell last year. He's been excelling on the Heat this season since we traded him there. Either way, is that enough to go on a deep playoff run? That might be enough to have a finals berth. Call me crazy, but I think adding a player of Sabonis's stature and value, a guy that led the NBA in rebounds 3 seasons in a row, adding that, putting him next to Scotty Barnes as your front court, having still Brandon Ingram, having still Jamal Shed, and whether or not you have to trade RJ in this move, you give room for Grady Dick, you give room for Jacoby Walter to finally make that jump. Yes, this does hurt the bench guard position, but Keon Ellis now plays such an important position. Either he plays with Jacoby Walter and makes one of the most deadly defensive backcourts on any team's bench, or Jacoby Walter gets the start, and then he plays point guard with Grady Dick as his backcourt mate off the bench. Either way, chef's kiss. And then you just promote Jamal Shed to be the starter. That's a win. That's a Eastern Conference Finals team, maybe a finals berth. Now, of course, the Western Conference is so good, but we just beat the Thunder. I'm not saying we could do it 7 times or 4 times in 7 games. But we did it once. Call me crazy. The Thunder, Spurs, Nuggets, Rockets, Lakers, Suns, Timberwolves. No. It's just the Thunder, Spurs, Nuggets. We would be the 4th seed in the Western Conference right now. That's how good we've been, 29-19. The Rockets, Lakers, Suns, Timberwolves all are 27-win teams, which is kind of crazy. Because when you go to the East, the 7 seed, 25-win team, it's been a top-heavy league this year. I'm just now realizing that the bad teams are bad, like so bad. Like the Wizards 10 wins, the Pacers 11, the Nets 12, and in the West, the Pelicans 12 and the Kings 12. Teams are beating up on these teams. This is this is embarrassing for a lot of these franchises, if we're being honest with each other. So the top teams are really good this year, but the Eastern Conference, I think it's lacking. I even think we face off against the Pistons really good. I think we have the defensive options to pair up nicely against the Jalen Duren, Cade Cunningham, and the rest of their ensemble of random guys that they have coming in. I really like the way that we fit in against them, and honestly fit in against majority of the other teams in the Eastern Conference. Looking at this list, who strikes fear in my heart? That's a great point, Nolan. Looking in the chat there on the Thunder note, the Raps swept the Warriors in the 2018-2019 season. That is absolutely correct. It was during the first game of the 2018-2019 season. Afterwards, the reporters asked Klay Thompson how he felt about this Raptors team and if he was going to be seeing them later. And he predicted that he was going to be seeing them in the finals. And, well, he would be right. So that's a fun factoid about that year. Also, I don't know. I just feel like the Thunder will fall short of the finals this year. That's a bold prediction. I want to see in the chat, this is obviously, Earthquake. I want to see, this will be a little later on, so I might talk about something else, but we'll revisit this. Who is your pick for the NBA Finals? Right now, we're about 45 to 48 games into the season for most of these teams. Shortly, I'm going to have a little mid-season awards video coming out for the NBA. That seems like it would be a ton of fun to make. I think, not to be biased, but I really like the Spurs odds. But weirdly enough, I think this year's finals are going to be a Houston Rockets versus Boston Celtics, a little Christmas battle. And we'll see who wins, but I think with Jason Tatum coming back, that Celtics team is going to be so elite. It's going to be so good. So maybe it's us. If we get a bonus, let's go Raptors Houston in the finals. Red on red matchup. That'll be a ton of fun. And so I'll give it a couple minutes here. We'll do some final talking about NBA as I wait for you guys to catch up to me on the delay. And then put in the comments, please, your pick for the NBA Finals. I would love to know, and I would love to give a little reaction to it. I know Nolan threw it in the chat there. He's going to give me a pretty good take. Very confused on, or very interested to see on what our regular commenter, Dave Collings, is going to put in the chat as well. He always has some pretty interesting takes. Our resident Chiefs fan there. So my pick, why I'm picking Houston, I guess I'll defend that first. Kevin Durant, close to his swan song. I don't think he's going to retire after this season, but I like picking old guys to make the finals when they're, have a lot on the line. So I'm going to pick Kevin Durant and then the rest of this Houston team that's so deep of its ensemble. I love a lot of the pieces they have, and they are so primed to make some trades coming up soon. So I'm going to go Rockets. And then in the East, I mean, hey, Raptors, if they get a bonus, I can't not pick the Raptors. I mean, how could I not? But like that Celtics team, if they get JB still playing as good as he is, Jason Tatum coming back, he doesn't even need to. He could play 20 minutes a night, and this Celtics team is kind of all right. In the chat there, we got Dave Collins saying Raps versus Spurs, the Scotty Barnes versus Victor Wembanyama matchup, and I don't blame you one bit for saying the Spurs. With their guards being Castle, Vassell, Harper, that's deadly. Oh, and De'Aaron Fox, might I add, the best guy in that room. And then their big man, of course, Luke Cornett, low-key, the vanilla something, I don't know what, it's French vanilla, that's their combo. French vanilla, Wemby and Luke Cornett is a shockingly great pairing for big men. And I love their defenders. They got Harrison Barnes on the wing as well as Jeremy Sohan. That's a team that can make a run. I love that pick there from Dave Collings. And then, of course, our Raptors. How could you not pick the Raptors? And then Nolan Thode saying Jazz versus Hornets. Maybe in 10 years. That'll be correct. And, of course, he says that he's joking. He's got a 2007 throwback with Cavs versus Spurs. How fun would that be? Cavaliers have a tall task ahead of them as the 5 seed right now at 27-20. They are one game back of passing the Knicks for the 4 seed and getting home court advantage, at least in the first round of the playoffs. I could see it, honestly. If they put things together and Donovan Mitchell keeps playing as good as he has, and then, of course, joining Dave Collings and predicting the Spurs there, I like to see it. So we'll see, Nolan. We'll see, Dave, what can happen. If anyone else has a comment to, on who you think is going to be in the NBA Finals, please drop it now, as I will revisit it. But right now, we're going to move on to a little bit of Leafs talk, which I'm kind of reluctant to do, so if we're being honest with each other. Shout out to Dave in the chat. Yes, remember, hit the like button on this stream here. It helps out a ton. And hit subscribe on the CollingsThodeNetwork, as we are at 140 subs. We're trying to hit 150 before March. We're trying to hit 200 before the NFL draft. Can we do it? I don't know. That's a tall order, but hey, I'm optimistic, so I'd love to see that. So we'll get into our Leaf talk before we end this episode with a little bit of football chat. So the Leafs, it's been a time, hasn't it? All my Leaf fans out there, all my hockey fans out there who have been following along this year. You might understand the situation. It's not been great. Matthews finally finding his stride. That's been nice. It's been something to cheer for, but the moment he gets good, William Nylander lands on the IR, and it just makes me sad. Horribly sad. The Leafs now sit second last in the Atlantic Division, only ahead of the lowly and trashola Ottawa Senators. And we, keep in mind, everyone, we're only 2 points ahead of the Senators. That's how bad it is right now. The goal differential this season has been a -6. We're on a 4-game losing streak, and the genuine question is arising. Should the Leafs become sellers? John Tavares, Bobby McMahon, Brendan Carlo, Morgan Riley. 4 names immediately. Top of my dome. I'm selling. Today. Now, of course, the trade deadline is in March. If I'm not mistaken, it is March 6th or it's March 7th. One of the two. I can't remember. I am literally sitting at a computer. So I'm going to Google it. But those are my guys. It's March 6th. Okay, I was right the first time. Shouldn't have doubted myself. But pulling up the Toronto Maple Leafs lines, any other names I would be selling if the trade deadline was today. So Bobby McMahon, let's time out. We're this is very confusing. I'm very confused. We're gonna hide that and we're gonna bring window capture back. So this is Daily Faceoff. It's one of my favorite websites. We love Daily Faceoff. I use it to find out who's going to be playing goalie most days. I'll put it over here, and then I'll slide over here. Daily Faceoff. We use it to find out who plays goalie most days. It's really nice for fantasy hockey. Everyone, take a look at this. Who is our second line left winger? Why is Jake McCabe listed here? What am I seeing? Who's listed at... Okay, so he's going to split time between first D and second line left wing? Okay. Daily Faceoff, it's having a moment right now. Either way, who am I selling on this list for our Leaf Talk? Bobby McMahon. I want to keep Max Domi. I just, it's a Domi. It's a Domi and Leaf. There we go. McCabe power forward. Yeah, he's going to be in those net front battles. I'm selling John Tavares. Lots of teams can take him on because of his outstanding contract. We might be able to get a first for him, honestly. For how good he started this season and how cheap that contract is, it would be wrong not to ask for at least a first. Of course, we're keeping Matthew Nyes. And we're keeping Austin Matthews. Don't even get out of here. Easton Cowan's a lock. Nicholas Waugh, I'm selling you tomorrow. And Nicholas Robertson. Another guy like Emmanuel Quickly. Let's cash in on the value that Nick Robb is building for himself right now. He's playing good hockey with Easton Cowan. Ship him out of town. Let's get value. Let's get a third maybe out of this guy. Maybe a second. And then this fourth line, let's keep them all. Maybe Yarncrook. We could sell Yarncrook for a bag of pucks, and I think that's all he would yield. But I like Lawrence, a Kitchener boy, and as someone that went to school in Kitchener, love the city forever. And then Scott Lawton. He's just a heart and soul guy. I love Scott Lawton. And then looking at the defense here, I'm selling... I don't know. I like Jake McCabe a lot. There you go. Dave in the chat saying I'm selling anyone I can, get some picks built back up. And hey, this is a team that really struggles with that, so I don't blame you one bit for saying that. Jake McCabe, I'm keeping. Honestly, I love Jake McCabe. If we could re-sign him forever, lifetime contract, I would. But if we could get a second-round pick out of him, multiple, I'm doing it. Oliver Ekman-Larsson, if they're going to offer a fourth, let's sell him. Morgan Riley, trade him for a seventh. Brendan Carlo, let's recoup some assets. Maybe get a first out of him. Maybe get a good prospect. Benoit, let's keep him. Not like he's that valuable. Stetcher, we might as well keep him. Not like he's that valuable either. And then going down here, let's trade Stoley the goalie. I mean, my buddy Nick was really on the ball. He said we should trade Stolarz. I think he was saying that early in the year when he was first starting to struggle, or maybe around the time he got injured. He just wanted to recoup the assets. He's a big Wonderwall guy, so I am too. We're keeping Wall. And then I miss you, Tanev, every day. I miss you, Nylander, every day. Let's sell Joshua when he gets healthy. So that's my take on this Toronto Maple Leafs team right now. If you can't tell, I'm rather doom and gloom about it. It's been bad vibes all season. Literally all season. It's been bad vibes with this Leafs team. So that's all I got to say about that, as Forrest Gump would say. Moving on. The AFC and NFC championship games. Admission time. I'm sorry. I was wrong. I went 0 for 2 on my predictions. I said it was going to be a Broncos versus Rams Super Bowl. It's a Patriots versus Seahawks Super Bowl. That's on me, guys. I own up to that. Foul on me. It's on me. Don't worry. Don't give that to my center. That's on me. I'll go ride the bench. Because, yeah, that was a bad day of predicting. I said 21-17 for the Broncos. They lost 10-7. And then I said, what did I even say? I said 28-24 for the Seahawks. No, I said it for the Rams against the Seahawks, and then the Seahawks would obviously win. So, shows what I know. It's a good thing that I won more bets than I lost yesterday. So, I made some money in the night, but I was not betting on money line. I can tell y'all that much. My NFL pick is going to be the Seahawks beat the Patriots. So everyone go bet on the Patriots right now because they're going to be your Super Bowl champion. I'm sorry. It was, not a good day for predicting for this guy. But it was a fun day of games. I mean, a horrible game between the Broncos and the Patriots, but we had a really fun time during the watch-along, losing our minds together collectively. And I do want to thank everyone who did watch that video. The views for that have been doing really well, so couldn't be more thankful. And then that last game, the NFC Championship game, I saw some people saying game of the year. I was kind of more logged in on the basketball games that night. It was. I mean, it's football. It's exactly what you would expect. It's one play happens every 2 minutes. But it was a great game. Don't get me wrong. It was a great game. I did stop midway through to help my dad with some snow shoveling, so maybe I didn't watch all of it. But shout out to the Seahawks. Shout out to Sam Darnold. My dad is a firm hater, a disbeliever, and he proved him wrong. So let's go Sam Darnold. Let's go Seahawks. And we see in the chat there, I'm hammering the Seahawks at negative 4.5. That's Dave in the chat. Don't blame you. Do not blame you. So, if anyone's not aware, this is the Carolina Bowl instead of the Super Bowl, as Drake May, quarterback at UNC. If he wins the Super Bowl, he becomes the 6th quarterback to come from to win a Super Bowl to also come from the same college or university that has had a president elected. Random stat. It's 7 if you include Princeton with backup quarterbacks. 5 if you don't. So we have a chance to see that. And then, of course, Sam Darnold, the reason I am a Panthers fan, because in 2021, he went 3-0 to start the season, and I was hooked. So thanks, Sam Darnold. I'm going to be cheering for you forever. Nolan in the chat, the Coach Mike Bull. It's going to be a ton of fun. Mike Vrabel versus, what is it, Mike McDonald for the Seahawks coach? If I'm not mistaken. That's, Mike McDonald. So we'll see. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in so much. Ton of fun today. Got more viewers than usual, so I'm always happy. Till next time, and of course next time is tomorrow. Peace.